Greetings and salutations, folks. My name is Nick, and welcome back to the Outer Worlds, where we have finally reached Stellar Bay via Cascadia, because we are like that, I guess. Yeah, we landed, we landed here instead of way over here. Do we have a... Yeah, we do. However, the plot is going to stay on hold for just a moment while we investigate a murder most foul. Apparently there is a dead body past these vending machines. And also my gun is in need of repair, but that is unrelated. Is it this one? 0% condition. Wow. 94, 90, 86. It's still usable, I guess. Yeah, we might as well use our weapon parts to fix it up. Ah. All right.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked me, was all.
Parvati.
Not much I can do for this guy.
We were told there was a dead body in here. And Ellie, I understand. There's the victim. Was it the cereal that did it? The purple berry crunch. Unfortunately, I cannot steal from this dead man. I can't even steal the tools that I would use to steal from him. This betting slip lists some increasingly bold wagers made for a team called Mostly Colonists. It's from Left Field Tossball Betting. Reminds me of the movie, I'm suddenly reminded of the movie Dirty Work, where Chevy Chase plays as a doctor who bet against Rocky in Rocky 3. In other words, he was probably killed because of his terrible bets. Anything else to look at in the bathroom? Several ragged outfits, all of the same cut and color, were stuffed into this suitcase. He was planning to leave town. There we go. So now let us investigate left field tossball betting. Because for some reason we are going to carry out this side quest right now. This building has seen better days. Honestly, probably this town has seen better days. Although maybe it just looks crappy because of how dark it is. Or maybe it's because of all the garbage and rubble just kind of like fallen apart. Although apparently this town has more or less been abandoned by the corporation. Oh man. Yeah. So the corporation has abandoned this town, so nobody's really taking responsibility in cleaning it up. Excuse me, I need to talk to you about a murder.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial Age Mammoths.
Who has time to watch grown men and women hit balls with sticks? Yeah, I'm just gonna say I'm not here to chat about teams. No need to really be a jerk about the fact that I'm not interested in their activity.
That's a shame. Tossball's just about the only good news we get around here. When our frequency's not too clogged up, anyway. So, what can I do for you?
I found this betting slip in a dead man's apartment. Any idea what might have happened to him?
Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth.
What does his teeth have to do with anything? I'm listening.
Right. So the thing with Isaac is he didn't know where to stop. He'd get stuck on something, and he just couldn't let it go. Sometimes he'd drink purpleberry punch by the liter. Other times he'd keep betting on a losing team. Started owing the wrong people money.
So, who did he owe?
I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them.
Thanks for the tip.
Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Alright. So it appears that the perpetrators of whatever this guy's name was, his death.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
Is somebody named Elijah, who... Yeah, Monarch. Who is found behind the yacht club because no one lets him in anymore. Bennett.
Laws. Can't a man enjoy the smooth menthol flavor of a Stogie Slim in peace?
You've got a lot of brass for a man doing absolutely nothing.
What I am doing, ma'am, is enjoying the moment. It's so rare that I can seize one apart from the jabbering masses of this wretched place.
What are you talking about?
This law's forgotten town. Cut off from the rest of the colony. Removed from any culture. I recall when Stellar Bay was a proper board-affiliated town with regular shipments of Auntie Cleo's best and all the cereals. Before Sanjar took over MSI and got us all booted.
But now you all are free from the board.
Yes, free to wallow in squalor together. Free to squabble with the iconoclasts over a raptidon-infested hellhole. Look, you're making me melancholy. Is there something you wanted?
No. I wanted absolutely nothing from you.
Times and places we could have been born.
Yeah.
We're here, light years from Earth, going about our lives.
Every time the punch clock peals, a worker earns his meals.
What are you
Ugh.
talking about?
I don't even want to know what
Rust
that
and
means.
Painted eyes, right here.
Ma'am, please, I need your help. I can pay.
I'm busy trying to get to this quest item. I'll get back to you.
Who the fuck are you? This ain't your alley.
Elijah,
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley.
you live in a small town.
We're
There's only
already
so many
pissed by
alleys.
those crates to market.
I don't... I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
My intimidate is not high enough. Attack or intimidate? Let's see what happens if I choose just forget this happened.
I don't think so. You're a loose end now.
Oh, okay. Of course they all have... have toss ball sticks as weapons. Oh no, not sublight salvage and wreckage. Did I need them for something? I don't know. They're dead now. Okay, now that I'm done killing the people in this secret alley, what can I do for you?
Oh, thank you for stopping. Everyone acts like nothing's wrong, like my little boy isn't at risk of being eaten by some vile creature. Please, you have to help me get my little Tucker back. He ran away and is going to get himself killed. Oh, I just know a raptidon is melting him with acid as we speak.
It's more dissolving than melting.
That is not helpful.
Calm down, take a deep breath. What happened?
Don't you tell me to calm down.
I've already done that.
I
You cannot
promised
take
my
it back.
boy I'd protect him for always. But how can I keep him safe if he's run away?
With a
He
gun,
ran out into the
like
wilderness
you
a
would
few
expect
days
me to
ago.
do.
I warned him about the raptidons, mantisaurs, and marauders, the toxic sulfur pools, and poisonous glands, but he didn't listen.
Oh, law, Captain. A youngster won't last long in a place like this. Please, can't we help?
Please, won't you go and find my boy?
Alright, alright. I'll help you find your son.
Thank you. Oh, I know he'll be safe now that someone's able to fetch him home. You look for him in Amber Heights, you hear? It's down the road southwest of town. I'm sure he made it that far. I just know it. And if you find any of them iconoclasts indoctrinating my boy, you punch them in the mouths. Tell them what I think of them luring little boys away from their mamas. It's immoral.
Okay. And we will do that right away. After I complete this quest over here, which is for... talk to Sanjar to tell him about the results of Elijah's murder. Wow,
Could
that
I
is a
get
lot of
another advance,
hologram.
Mr. Nandi?
Just make sure it's properly logged.
I'll note it next to the others, sir.
Well, new business turns up at last.
Yeah, I've already shot
Yeah,
people in your
didn't
town.
I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me.
Do you have anything on your schedule? That's very generous of you. Please do not talk about how percentages will affect and or moisten my loins for the rest of this conversation.
Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself?
Neither. I'm just charting my own path, going where the wind takes me.
What a charming notion. One doesn't meet many free spirits in Alcyon. Not outside Tartarus prison, anyway. Forgive me, I'd be positively enraptured. Only, I take it this means you aren't here for Saltuna.
That is correct. If I had to eat one more weird science project passed off as food, space rat, in this sprat-fucked colony, I'm going to stab someone. Afraid not. Hey, it could always be both. No, I'm not eating the salt tuna. Afraid not.
Oh, a shame. I'd been saving a bottle of iceberg-aged whiskey for an occasion like this.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments.
Do you want your
I had
secretary
hoped
to note
livening
that?
up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
What exactly are you hoping to accomplish?
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now. Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious.
And you're tired of scrounging and scraping by, is that? And also you're on a planet filled with terror monsters.
Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
So what do you mean to do about it?
Well, Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
Oh, okay.
On our terms, mind you.
Always
Will that
good.
help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And not to
And if
just
our
make
advertising
yourself
scheme hasn't
feel
borne
good about
fruit,
your
then
accomplishments.
perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
This lady knows what's going on.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
You do seem to have a bit of a Raptidon problem. And Manticore problem.
And a
Yep.
Marauder problem.
Many, many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting the Bolt 52, we'll be able to become one of the most productive and secure cities in Halcyon.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
The Bolt 52 sounds useful. What is it?
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance.
Never realized fighting the bureaucracy could be this interesting.
It is quite the rush.
All right. Once you have the Bolt 52, how about where do I find
In the
one?
old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our
Oh,
wall
okay.
chains.
So I don't actually have to
These
leave the
days
planet
it's
for this.
overrun with marauders and raptidons.
Then I guess I'll go get your Bolt
Do be
52.
careful. I've lost more than a few people to marauders and raptidons out there. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
Before you go, I need to ask you
What can I
about
do for
something,
you?
because I did kill Elijah. Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
I've taken care of it. The killers are dead.
But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stellar Bay, it's proper documentation for legal matters.
There's something to be said about that. Maybe I could have gotten their statements if they hadn't been ready to kill me.
Always a shame when tempers get the better of good sense.
I mean, I
Still,
tried to get
your
their
intervention in
statements.
the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services.
All right. I'm also looking for an information broker, maybe?
Hiram? Why, he's probably still out at Devil's Peak. Not that he's had the courtesy to notify me, at any rate.
How do I get to Devil's Peak?
You'd head south along the road and look for a mountain to the west. Not that I'd advise it. It's a terribly dangerous trek. But if you insist on going, I'd recommend taking a local guide. Nyoka would be a prime candidate.
If you can keep her sober.
All right. Let's talk to you. You seem pretty cool. I like you.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries.
Middle manager
producers and
of the
purveyors
best
of
material.
The finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
What was that exchange about? You having money trouble? Yeah, like when I walked in, she was getting an advance for something.
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again?
Parvati, this
Not
seems
that I've got
personal.
any prior experience.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid.
Why are you spending most of your paycheck on Raptidon acid? Do you normally blow your money on Raptidon parts?
Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really.
Why are you buying this stuff? Why are you buying so much from Sebastian?
So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell.
Just ask him on a date.
I couldn't. What if he says no?
It's better than having an apartment filled with
maybe you can
Raptidon
ask him.
acid.
I mean, a no would still be bad, but it won't be quite as embarrassing if you ask. Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work.
I'm curious, what do you see in Sebastian?
He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Eh,
Good to have standards, I guess.
yeah, good to know what you
I'm
want.
looking for.
You really want to be with someone you can't talk to?
You think that's what I'm looking for? You're funny.
She just wants to bang him. That's all I need to know.
Sorry, sometimes I get carried away.
Also, Parvati's phrase, she's got a squish on this person. I feel as though that is an excellent phrase, and I might steal it at later dates. At later dates, but I'm here all night. Actually, this video is only going to last for so long, so I'm not going to be here all night. But let us go talk to Sebastian, who's actually just right over there. You're standing a little bit in the darkness, sir. I'd like to look at your legs, your lower thighs, so I could examine them for Celia. Was that her name? Celia has told me about your leg muscles and how well performing they are.
Hello, stranger. Can I interest you in a Raptidon tongue? Or maybe some canid toenails?
No.
You look like a woman who's looking for some mostly fresh animal parts.
Why would I want any of that?
I don't know. Celia usually buys whatever I have, and Mr. Pickett seemed real interested. So I thought maybe I was onto something.
Mr. Pickett? Franklin Pickett from Edgewater?
That's him. He'd been here years, but he always talked about going back to Edgewater one day.
Parvati, you know who he's talking about?
Sure. Mr. Pickett used to run the community center
Oh
outside
yeah,
Edgewater.
I found
He had this
information
grand
things from
idea
him.
to make it a museum for halcyon life. As my dad told it, Mr. Pickett was always going on about getting a manta queen for the last display. He left the Vale, gosh, years ago.
He came to Stellar Bay years ago, just before the board cut us off. Ended up stuck here. He was always real interested in our monsters. Manta queens, especially.
Alright. Have you seen a manta queen?
Sure, they're real big. Hard to miss.
I mean, I've killed a few on my way here. Where have you seen a manta queen?
Well, I could send you to the same place I sent Mr. Pickett. But I haven't seen him in a few weeks. To tell true, I'm starting to get a bit worried about him.
Captain, can we look for him?
I
After
feel
all,
as though I'm
somebody from
collecting a
home
lot
was
of
in
side
trouble,
quests
we
right
didn't do
now.
nothing.
Tell you what, I'll tell you where I sent Mr. Pickett if you promise to look for him. Help him out if he's got himself in trouble. Fair deal?
Sure. If he's a friend of Parvati's, I suppose I ought to.
Thanks, Captain.
All right then. Leave town through the southern gate, the one right here, and head past the abandoned ruins. Last Mana Queen I saw was in the wilds out that-a-ways. Could be Mr. Pickett still out there too.
Let's talk about Celia.
Huh. I haven't seen her in a few days, but I've been meaning to ask her how that Raptidon acid is working out.
What do you
I
even
hope it's
do with
working okay,
Raptidon
because
acid?
No one else really seems interested in this stuff.
She likes you.
Nice of you to say. I like her too.
No, 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 no. No, I mean she really likes you.
And I gotta admire anyone with her passion for canid hides. But you don't have to butter me up.
Now I see what Celia was talking about. This guy almost reminds me of Irion.
Who?
An old acquaintance from the Groundbreaker. A real piece of work.
That's mighty kind of you to say.
But we were talking about what a lucky gal Celia is.
Anyone who can afford such a fine collection of mantisaur claws has it pretty good.
You idiot. I'm trying to tell you she wants to date you. Since you've got so much, maybe you should let her take you out.
Wait, I see what's going on. She put you up to this so she could get a discount, hmm?
Oh, no, that's not it at all. She's smitten with you. You smited her. Smoke? Smoot?
Don't get me wrong. I'd like to give her a discount.
Oh
She's
my
a real
gosh.
fine lady. Always
Sebastian.
nice and slow, so I understand. But if I give her one, I won't hardly make a bit, on account of no one else having any use for Raptidon tongues.
No one has any use for Raptidon tongues. Don't take my word for it. Spend some time with her. I promise she won't ask for a discount.
You sound pretty sure. And she is awful nice.
Give her a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take her someplace nice.
Okay, I'll do it. Once her shift ends, we'll go someplace nice. Maybe to Chef Raymond's.
That's the spirit, Sebastian. Be yourself. Between you and me, Captain, I'm not sure Miss Celia knows him too well. But we can hope, right? I want them to be happy.
And really, their arrangement of Celia constantly buying more Raptidon parts is probably not very healthy either.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet? What did he say?
He said he'll go on a date with you.
Okay, but how did he say it? Did he sound excited? Or like he was just agreeing to it? Was he like, yay, a date with Celia. I've secretly been waiting for this. Or was it more, sure, I don't have anything else going on.
He likes you, Celia. Just don't ask him for any discounts.
Not to worry. If I never buy another Raptidon tongue, it'll be too soon. Ah, look at me going on. I'm sure you've got other things to do, and Mr. Nandi's giving me that back-to-work look. Anyhow, thank you.
All right. We have connected people together. We have created romance. All right. But first, let us talk to the big game hunter Nyoka, who frequents the yacht club. Who is already drinking. And has got a whip, and another flask, and a knife. And I think that's it. Yeah.
And the little bastard's slippery, right? On account of its blood. So it's sliding all over the place, trying to crawl away. Getting so I can't tell the blood from the mud. But I gotta get in there, get right in that baby rap's stomach and dig it out. If so much as a drop of stomach acid got on that medallion, shit, I don't know what I'd do. Might be I'd hunt every damn wrapped out there. Right. What are you staring? Wait. You ain't from around here. Who are you?
I'm Malice. Pleasure to meet you.
Ooh, charmer. Don't get a lot of that around here. Folks mostly grump at me about how I should join the MSI payroll. Nice change of pace. Buy me a drink, will you?
Sure, another round, bartender.
Outstanding! What are you doing in Stellar Bay, stranger?
What can I do for you, stranger? I'm told you can help me find an information broker.
Well. Let's get down to brass nuts then, shall we? Wait, that ain't it. Brass rats?
I think it's brass
Let's
tacks.
talk business. I'm headed back out there after I sober up. You want a guide sooner than that? You have to get me.
Oh my gosh, how many things... Sure, what do you need?
Outstanding! Our dispensary here maintains a stock of, well, I don't rightly know what they are. Steroid or caffeine somethings? Pills. They're very good. I'm cut off for the month, on account of needing one just about every damn day. But I'm sure you've got your wily ways. Fetch me one and we'll be all set.
And if I can't get a steroid... You mean caffeinoid? That stuff's just a stimulant.
Well, they work. We got a deal or what?
Alright, I'll be back. Alright, gotta get her drugs because I got her drunk. I feel as though it may have been my fault. Passion pills.
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brack's missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
Very well, dearie. But you stop by anytime you like, hmm?
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind.
I think Abigail is squishing on Frederick over there.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember.
Quite the bedside manner, lady.
Well, it's so rare I get the pleasure of new company. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
Ugh. I've been asked to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young lady you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits.
Whiskey helps, too.
Please leave medical advice to the professionals. Now, dearie, who's this pickup for?
Actually, the pills are for me. I don't know, Auntie, you'll have to pry that secret from my sweet little cheeks.
I'm so sorry, but with the iconoclasts and the marauder filth chasing away what little trade we get, I'm afraid I have to reserve my supply for Stellar Bay residents.
Ah, damn it.
Our reserves have gotten so low, I've even had to start locking the supply room upstairs. Isn't it a shame what some people will do to get a little extra?
Oh, that's just awful.
Isn't it just? I'd make an exception for you if I could, my little cherub. Is there anyone else needing a special pickup from Auntie Abigail?
Yeah, Nyoka.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
When can Nyoka get her next dose?
I'm afraid it'll be the better part of a month. Our dear Nyoka tends to exhaust her supply rather quickly. Believe me, there's nothing I'd love better than to help you, but there's not much I can do. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
I thought you were in charge around here, Auntie. You sure ought to be.
Oh, you flatter an old woman. Me, I'm just here to be a pretty face for the customers. And to keep an extra key to the supply room, for all the times Dr. Williams misplaced his.
Forgetful fellow, eh?
Careless experimentation with medicinal substances does take its toll, eventually.
But until then, it's lots of fun.
Episodic pharmacological delirium is no laughing matter, young lady.
Episodic pharmacological delirium is an amazing phrase. Where can I find this Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations.
Or is it pharmacological? The flower of enlightenment?
It's a philosophist symbol of some kind, dearie. Never you mind. The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties.
Oh, so I probably have to go to...
I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
Alright. I guess I'll have to figure this out on my own.
Dearie.
Alright. Let's at the very least get started on some of these side quests that I've picked up.
Ooh. Smells like those old Sundays when we'd unload Saltuna shipments at the cannery.
Am I the only one getting hungry?
Yes. Right now let us head southward towards Tucker, the lost son, but also let us...
They're in my sights.
Alright, that one is down. That one's down. Nah, back here. Alright. Everybody's A-okay. An assault rifle ultra. Fancy. Hold on. What kind of ammunition does the assault rifle ultra use? Heavy. I don't care then. Luckily, it's not stealing when I'm not in town. I guess they recognize the idea that everybody in this area is mostly dead. Let's see, we got a whole bunch of stuff. How's my inventory looking? 100 out of 150. So it's okay. I can still run around and explore. But first let us, we're not heading in the direction of these Raptidons.
Ready, set, on.
Are we done? I think we're done. Okay. So let us carry onwards. Head over... I guess head over this hill, unless this road kind of curves around. Yeah, this road kind of circles around back towards where Tucker may have gone. Oh, is this like a church or something? Huh. I think it is. Is there stuff in the church? There's a dead body, of course. Yeah, probably the church was evacuated with the destruction of most of the area. Marauders took over. The marauders were then killed off by the Raptidons. Ah, hello. So really nobody here was having a good time, or using the church for whatever it was originally built. Though the idea of a church in this kind of like heavy corporate area is a little bit surprising. What is up with that? With this hat. It's a nice hat. Is it a hat that I can wear? Yeah. Simple, classic, time-honored. The top hat. The most venerable of all headwear. Now available from Jalicoeur. If only I actually liked hats. Alright, now that we've looted the church, which I suppose isn't quite that sacrilegious when you consider the idea that the church was already filled with dead bodies before we showed up. Hello. Oh, and then Raptidons attacked. Also removes earwax. All right. We are going down the road still, I believe. Yes. And this looks like it's circling past a town. I might have to take a moment to stop off and look around the town first, and then look for Tucker later. Oh, hello. There's a bad guy. Oh, directly in front of me.
Like true professionals.
We are not just like true professionals. We are true professionals. Oh, that was their ringleader. Who are we shooting at now? Yeah, and leveled up. Apparently the max level for this game is 30, so maybe I shouldn't be so willy-nilly about assigning skill points, but then I can always reassign skill points at some point, I believe. So let us throw... We weren't able to intimidate, so we might put that in intimidation. Our intimidation skill isn't strong enough. But our lockpick skill could also use a boost. And our leadership skill, let us raise leadership so that both inspiration and determination are above 40. And then we'll throw the rest of the points into persuade. What did that enable for leadership? Companions get bonus armor rating and better critical damage. Okay, that sounds good. And now for perks. Which, there was some companion perks that I said I was going to get because I realized that companion skills are actually pretty awesome. "20% companion ability cooldowns for each of your kills." That sounds good, actually. Or bonus carrying capacity bonus from companions, which would also be useful. Now it's all the way at 230 kilograms. I'll never have to worry about inventory until it's too late. And then I'll just be staring down my hoard of stuff. And I'll be like, why did I wait until all this time had passed? To do anything about it.
Just like that.
Excellent. Let us save our game before we enter this new area. Also, my gun icon is on here, so let's take a look at our 55.6. Do we have another gun that shoots light ammo? Oh, we have the sawed-off. We have another revolver. Let's, yeah, I think this does... Yep, there we go. Let's swap it out for the sawed-off, because that has a little bit better durability, and then we could always swap out the sawed-off for the other revolver, and then everybody's happy. More specifically, me. Ew. It's a vending machine. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that guy was already dead. That was... What am I suffering from? What has happened to me? Okay. Whatever it was that I was suffering from is no longer ailing me. This door is sealed. This door is not. So what happens if I try to use the bed? Are my companions just going to stand there and watch me sleep? Are we all going to pile into this one bed? Like, I'm not sure what is the better solution. Either way, we are almost there to find Tucker. So let's just knock this one out real quick, like, before we call it a night. Oh, hello. I think I see some person over here. Marauder, most likely.
Huh?
Yeah. She shoots right through that concrete barrier.
Who's ready for more?
Oh, they're already dead. That was fast. Hunting Rifle Ultra. What was that? It does 204 damage. Let us try that out. Because that would make it a stronger weapon than my other rifle, which only shoots individual shots anyway. It's not like that other rifle is an assault rifle. So... Are you telling me that, Tucker ran here? Oh, in Amber Heights. Probably a residential, complex. Alright, let us save our game. Hold on. Wasn't I warned about
Welcome
iconoclasts?
to the home of the iconoclasts. I'm
They're always
Rose.
stealing
Please,
babies from their mamas.
In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his philosophist truths, and the iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it.
You know, I thought she was just joking and being a little bit nuts about the idea of iconoclasts stealing her baby. You're offering me a pamphlet you don't have?
I'm so sorry. It's a habit, I suppose. We used to have plenty, but we ran out of paper and ink. Ever since the corporations left, it's been hard to come by the basics. But you know what we do have? Freedom! This is the only place in Halcyon you'll find it. No corporations, no shackles, no problems.
No problems. What about raptidons or marauders?
Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep.
Got it. Before I go, I'm looking for a Tucker. Have you seen him?
The new boy! Yes, he's quite clever. He took to our teachings very quickly. Last I saw him, he was headed into one of the buildings up the hill.
Alright. I guess I can put my gun away.
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the dead critters.
I mean, really...
Saying is, it ain't worth it. It's gonna taste like sulfur all the same.
Nuh-uh. Taro's got that sweet blood.
So, you gotta boil it or you'll get sick. Then all that
Like, is this really any worse than living in a corporation? Hello, Tucker.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger?
It's Captain Malice.
Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the iconoclasts? Help us free this world?
Free from what?
Why, from the yoke of corporate tyranny. It's what all us iconoclasts strive for, with Graham at the helm. We want unfettered freedom, not the lies that MSI tries to sell in Stellar Bay. True escape from all rules and constraints. You want to know more? Listen to Graham's broadcasts. He's been tucking up a storm, working to elevate the minds of all the corporate drones in this colony, getting them to rise up.
No rules or limits. You're describing pure anarchy. Rules are needed for people to coexist.
See, that's what the corps want you to think. If you think rules are needed, they can...
I mean, like, there's a difference between absolute anarchy and absolute order. Neither of these things are needed. I think that's actually discussed in,
amongst the lies that are living in your brain.
another game, which I forget at the moment. Tucker, you're Agnes's little boy from Stellar Bay.
I am not a little boy. Haven't been one for decades. no matter what my mama wishes. I take it she's still looking for me? Had hoped she'd accept my decision.
She made it seem like you were in danger, asked me to rescue you.
According to her, stepping foot outside of the house in broad daylight is too dangerous. My entire life, she crammed a fear of danger down my throat. Don't go play with friends. Mantisaurs will tear your arms off. Don't leave the city. Raptidons will spit acid on your face. Marauders can violate you. You'd fall in a sulfur pool. I stuck around way too long, ruled by her fears. I'm 42 years old, but she still sees me as a little boy in need of her protection. I won't stand for it, I tell you.
All right, yeah. Running ways for cowards. Tell her that you've grown up. Yeah, let's go with that. Running away is for cowards. You need to face her and show her you've grown up.
Show up with a bottle of vodka and some real good cusses. That'll show her how much you've grown.
Then she'll think they've brainwashed me into some kind of hooligan. As far as she's concerned, if I make any decision that's not aligned with hers, someone else convinced me. She doesn't want to see me as anything other than her baby boy. Why would I go back again? What'll be different this time?
You've survived outside of Stellar Bay for weeks. Show her the skills you've learned.
You're right.
Stand your ground.
I just need to stand my
Believe
ground
in
and
yourself.
see she can't control me anymore. No one can.
Yeah. All right, let's see how this ended up.
Oh, Captain, you did it! My little boy is back, safe and sound. Tell the captain how grateful we are, Tuk Tuk.
Mama, I told you that I'm not staying. I just came back to talk to you about why I left. Then I'm going back to Amber Heights.
He's 42 years old. Stop calling him Tuk Tuk.
You're safe here with me, and that's how it's going to stay. Isn't that right?
Your son is a grown man. It's time you start treating him like one.
What a sour thing to say. My little boy will always need me. I'm his mama, you know.
Mama, what I need is for you to listen to what I want for once. But that's between us. Now you promised the captain a reward, so settle up. Then you and me are gonna have a long talk.
Here, kind stranger. This is every bit I've scrimped and scraped for years.
625 bits?
It's more than worth it to have my Tuk Tuk home safe again.
Good luck to you both. All right. Another side quest done. And we're calling it a night. Got any suggestions for someone to play next? Leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and have yourselves a good night.